Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Siries Podcast. Sastra in this Series Podcast with me here, Nazzra, as your host today. And by the way, I am super excited because we have a very interesting guest who is keen on drawing, which is my classmate, Lani. Thank you so much for joining me with me, Lani.
Hi everyone. Hi Nazzra. Thank you for inviting me today too. I feel so honored.
Before we dive into the topic, anything keeping you busy lately?
I've been doing well, thank you. Lately, I haven't been too busy. Mostly, I've been tutoring private lessons, and I was busy with some organizational programs and volunteering recently.
Oh, great. That's amazing, actually. So let's talk about your art journey. What first got you interested in drawing?
It all started with my dad. Actually, he loves drawing too, so I think I picked up the hobby from him. You could say it's in my blood, a little bit of the artist's DNA.
That's such a sweet story. Speaking of art, do you have a favorite art style and have you found your own unique style yet?
For all art styles. I love all art styles, but I'm especially drawn to semi-rustic with styles with a touch of edit. You know what I mean? As for my own style, I haven't quite found it yet. I'm pretty inconsistent. Every time I see a cool style, I try to copy it, which makes it hard to stick to one that feels like me.
That's understandable. When it comes to drawing, do you prefer planning things out or just go with the flow?
For me, I prefer to go with the flow depending on my mood. If I force it, the result usually turns out bad. I think this is a universal experience. When you try too hard, it flops. But when you're just doing out of boredom, it turns out great.
That is true. Have you ever felt frustrated because your drawing didn't meet your expectations?
I think almost all the time, and when that happens, I usually just leave it unfinished. To stay positive, I think it's important not to set high expectations from the start and just do the process.
That's such a great advice. Speaking of tools, do you have a favorite medium for drawing?
For now, just regular pencils. I'm not very good at digital tools and I'm terrible at coloring. Seriously, I have no sense of color coordination.
Fair enough. By the way, could you show me some of your work? I would love to see it.
Oh, sure, I will show you a book of mine that I use. Wait a minute.
Oh,
So here it is. Or you could go to my Instagram page to see it.
sure. What is your Instagram?
It's Lani underscore if I'm not mistaken, because I don't open it for so long. I have actually saved some of my artwork in highlights, so it's easier to find.
All right, thank you. Who knows, maybe some of our listeners are curious about you. And hey, you might even gain new followers. Wait, let me take a look.
Yeah, sure.
Wow, these are really cool. I can see that you are into sketching. What's the inspiration behind your pieces?
The inspiration behind my inspiration really depends on the mood or things that I find interesting at the moment.
That's so cool. Out of all the artwork you've made, is there one that stands out as the most memorable for you?
Not particularly, but there is one piece that made me think, oh, I can actually do this. It was when I tried drawing Billie Eilish just for fun, and it turned out better than I expected. That was that was pretty memorable.
Wow, that's amazing. And since your talent seems to run in the family, you usually show your drawings to your dad. Does he give you any insights?
Yes, I usually show my work to him. Even when I don't ask, he always gives me light feedback, which is really helpful.
That is so supportive of him. Do you have any favorite artists or illustrators who inspires you?
Favorite artist? I think Bob Ross. His laid back approach is so comforting. He doesn't pressure you to make perfect art. And also, his storytelling while painting is so relaxed.
Ah, yes, Bob Ross is a legend. Have you ever thought about selling your arts online?
Honestly, I don't think my skills are good enough yet. Therefore, I don't feel my art is worth pricing. I'm still learning and improving.
Alright, fair enough. But if someone asks you to draw their portrait, would you take the commission?
Of course, but only if I'm confident in my skills by then.
Mhm. Makes sense. Is there any trending art style right now that you love to try?
Tuning art style. Probably the Disney cartoon style
This
because
part.
it's so expressive, you know? It seems really fun to experiment with.
That's some fun. Have you ever posted any of your work online, like on a platform for artists?
I did once in an online art community on Facebook, and it was more for feedback. But after getting one comment that was, a bit harsh, I felt discouraged and never posted again on
Oh
there.
no, I can see how that would be discouraging. But hey, if you want to be serious about this, creating a signature style could be a good way to stand out, right?
True, if you want to be well known in the art world, having a signature style is really important because it helps people recognize your work.
That's correct. And lastly, do you have any tips for people who are just starting to learn how to draw?
Any tips? I think just one. Don't expect your drawings to be amazing right away. Starting out means imperfection, and that's okay. Just enjoy the process.
That's such a valuable advice. Thank you so much, Lani, for sharing your journey and insight with us. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Siries Podcast. I hope this inspires our listeners to pick up a pencil and give drawing a try. If you love today's chat, don't forget to subscribe and share this episode with your friends. Who knows? Maybe someone you know needs a little push to start catching. Thank you again for tuning in. See you.